Hello and welcome to the special segment in CNBC TV 18. India and US enjoy a strong strategic partnership, and that partnership is now being taken forward for cooperation through the energy sector. And to talk to us about that, we are now being joined by US Energy Secretary Rick Perry. So thank you so much for joining CNBC TV 18. Let's start by talking about this visit that you are having, and you'll be meeting a lot of Indian policymakers, including Indian Oil Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. What are the top takeaways that you are looking at from this visit and from this partnership summit, which you will be attending?
Well, when Prime Minister Modi came to the U.S. and met with President Trump, myself, and others, the decision to have a strategic energy plan was developed. And so this is the, I won't say the fruition of it, but it's the development of a plan between the United States and India. Great opportunity for not only the U.S. to develop a very substantial partner, but also the opportunity for India to expand their energy portfolio at a time that it's, I think, quite important as India becomes the dynamic country in this part of the world from a population standpoint and from an economic standpoint. So timing couldn't be better from my perspective. The United States has had a real change in its energy fortunes because of innovation, the shale gas play that's come about, the refocus on not only fossil fuels but nuclear energy. And it's really tracks to some degree India's vision about an all-of-the-above energy strategy. Obviously renewables playing a role in that. So it's an exciting time from my perspective to be in India, in the United States, and particularly in the energy sector.
Okay. You recently told the House Energy and Commerce Subcommittee in the U.S. that how U.S. sees a great opportunity in the Indian energy market. If you can tell us about where you see those opportunities. You have shale gas, as you were talking about. You have renewables. If you can just tell us where you do see those opportunities.
Yeah. And I will tell you, I think one of the great opportunities for India is in the civil nuclear power. And that's obviously, Minister Basu and I were talking about the opportunities there. Westinghouse, which is the premier reactor company in the world. Nobody builds better reactors than Westinghouse, the AP1000. So having, again, a broad portfolio. Don't put your eggs all in one basket.
Yes.
Renewables will play a role. The LNG will play, I think, even a bigger role. Nuclear has the potential of being very important from a base load standpoint. All of those three that I just mentioned have substantial potential to clean up the environment. And I speak with some experience here as the governor of Texas, the 12th largest economy in the world. We made a transition away from older, inefficient fleet engines. We had the largest increase of wind power development in the United States. We develop more wind energy in Texas today than all but 5 countries. And we had a big switch over to natural gas power plants, taking older inefficient plants offline, replacing them. Saw emissions go down for nitrogen oxide by over 60%. Sulfur dioxide by over 55%, a total carbon footprint, carbon dioxide emissions down by almost 20%. The same thing can happen in India, plus the opportunity to have amazing economic development in this country because of the access to power and power that's affordable.
Good that you mentioned about Westinghouse, because we have been trying to negotiate these power plants with Westinghouse for quite some time. There were some problems with the company itself. Now we understand that the talks have started again. There were issues, again, related to liability as well. So are those issues mostly sorted now when it comes to Westinghouse setting up those?
I think mostly, but one of the things that I tried to impress to everyone I talked to, both the Prime Minister, when he was in the United States, the ministers here, I'll see Minister Pradhan. He and I had this great opportunity to get to know each other in a number of different settings. So being able to clearly send the message that the regulatory climate is going to be predictable, it's going to be stable, that the protections are there, the liability and those types of things where a business feels comfortable, they can come here, do the things that they need to do. That is, I'm going to tell you, probably the most important message that you send to people who want to risk their capital, in this case in your country, in my case when I was the governor to the state of Texas, was stability and predictability in the regulatory climate. So Westinghouse had their challenges. They absorbed or they took in a company that was in the construction business. That wasn't what they did. They build reactors, and they build the best reactors in the world. They went through bankruptcy. That's being taken care of. It's very much basically done. And Westinghouse is ready to get back to doing what they do best, and that is build reactors. They'll find a contractor here to partner up with to build the plants. But more importantly, the people of India can know not only will they have a safe, reliable, but they'll also have a zero-emission, clean source of energy that can give them a base load. And when you complement that with wind and with solar, with LNG that's coming in from a reliable source, and I try to remind people, the United States wants to be a reliable partner with you. We don't have a political agenda here, other than we want this country to be successful. We want them to be partners. They want to, absolutely, we want you to buy it from us. The geopolitical world has really changed in the last 15 years. The other options are China and Russia. Sometimes, well, not sometimes. I think when you look at who we are, who India is, the type of government we have, the freedom of religion that we believe in, the type of history that this country has and the United States has, the United States is an energy partner, and otherwise, I mean, whether it's whatever sector it may be in, the United States hopes to be a very good, reliable partner with India.
We understand that you will be pitching also for clean coal technology to the Indian government and Indian companies. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. The CCU,
yes.
And we have, actually I talked to some of your private sector types within the last 24 hours. We opened up Petronova, which is a project with Dow, with Japanese interest, Mitsubishi, and it is a massive plant, an old coal plant that they put not only the scrubbers on, but also the carbon capture technology, sequestering that, or I should say utilizing that in an oil field for secondary oil recovery about 75 miles away, basically pipelining it over, pressuring it in, getting the secondary recovery in the oil fields. I know that there are a number of oil fields in India that type of technology will work for. So you have a huge amount of coal here. And here's reality. By 2040, 77% of the energy developed in the world will still come from fossil fuels. Coal's going to play a major role. How do we put the technology into place, whether it's the scrubbers or whether it's carbon capture, and allow us to use that in a safe and a reasonable way for the environment? Obviously, you go outside here in New Delhi and cleaning up the air would be a good thing. I've been to Beijing, to Shanghai. They have some challenges there. Technology that works, and we know this technology works, we want to make available around the world.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we're all citizens of the world together. And the U.S. is a great example of how this technology is working. From 2005 to 2017, carbon dioxide emissions in the United States are down 14%. It wasn't just in my home state of Texas, but nationally, The United States is a leader in the reduction of emissions, and it's because of our innovation, and it's because of our ability to move older, inefficient plants out of the fleet, replace them with cleaner burning natural gas.
Right. On that note, we will take a short break. Stay tuned.